Lake Orion, and welcome to our first newscast of 2013. I'm Kayla Brandon. Approximately 15% of Americans lack health insurance, which is equivalent to about 48 million people. Without health insurance, many women aren't able to receive potentially life-saving examinations to detect breast cancer. But one local organization is doing its part to ensure that the uninsured women can still receive the care that they need. In December, representatives of the organization Pink Ribbon Trailblazers presented a check for $30,000 to the staff at St. Joseph Mercy Oakland in Pontiac to ensure that the facility can continue to offer clinics, mammograms, and ultrasounds at no cost to women who lack health insurance. Several events held in 2012 contributed to the total, and the organization raised $3,000 at the Senior Open held at Indianwood Golf and Country Club in July. In September, a walk on the Pollyant Trail raised $5,800, and another $4,500 was raised during the organization's Booby Fest event in October. The Pink Ribbon Trailblazers organization was established in 2007 by breast cancer survivor Patricia Nolf. Since then, the organization has raised more than $125,000 for breast health services. On January 19th, the Clarkston Eagles will host a spaghetti dinner benefiting the Pink Ribbon Trailblazers. Admission is $8 for adults, $6 for children, and runs from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. The event is in honor of Eagles past president Mary Price, who passed away from breast cancer. For more information, call 248-625-9838. Beginning on February 1st, riders of the North Oakland Transportation Authority will be charged from $1 to $2 fares for one-way rides. Without the fare charges, NOTA would have lost 2 vehicles, which have impacted services. The NOTA board voted 8-0 in December to implement the new fare system. NOTA services Orion, Oxford, and Addison townships, and the villages of Lake Orion, Oxford, and Leonard. Those who qualify for NOTA rides are senior citizens, disabled individuals, and low-income residents. They receive free rides now for such things as medical appointments, jobs, shopping, and many other activities. Under the new price schedule, NOTA will charge $1 each way for rides within Orion, Addison, and Oxford townships, as well as the villages of Lake Orion, Oxford, and Leonard. Riders going outside of the 3 townships, but still within NOTA's nearby service areas, will pay $2 each way. Even with the fares, NOTA will still lose 1 bus in its operations, which run Monday through Friday. The bus will come off on February 1st. NOTA is working to help people who are unable to pay the new fees. They are looking to help establish an assistance fund whereby individuals, organizations, and companies can make donations to help cash-strapped riders. For more information about NOTA and their schedule of routes and fees, visit their website at notaride.org. During warm weather months, there's no shortage of festivals and events in Oakland County. But after the holidays, most people seem to prefer to hibernate until spring arrives. In an effort to get Metro Detroit to embrace what the area has to offer in the winter, Oakland County is inviting everyone to its 6th annual Fire and Ice Festival. At a press conference held on January 10th, County Executive L. Brooks Patterson urged area residents to come out to the county's Fire and Ice Festival, scheduled to take place in downtown Rochester during the last weekend in January. An opening ceremony will take place on Friday, January 25th at 8 p.m., followed by a fireworks display. During the 3-day period, visitors can enjoy ice carving demonstrations, open skating, a taste fest, and a beer tent, a tube sledding run, dog sled demos, and more. If you miss the big, bright light show during the holiday season, you're in luck. The switch will be flipped to turn on the lights one last time during the festival weekend.
Winters in Michigan have always been sort of challenging. We sort of hunker down at home around the fireplace. I tried to come up with an event, like summertime we got Quake on the Lake, and we've got the Dream Cruise, and we have Arts, Beats, and Eats. And we got a lot of summer events, but we didn't have anything in the wintertime. So this is one event where we come out and try to take advantage of the winter and embrace it as a chance to celebrate the winter itself in a little different way. So we have all these games with the kids, especially when they get to ride dogs, things they see but they never thought they'd experience, all free of charge. And we encourage the community, not just Rochester, but from around the Tri-County, come on over and enjoy it. And the stores will be open, see Rochester. The DDA has been, I think, very, very effective in getting the merchants and so forth to keep the lighting up through this event. And that's obviously an expense that they're absorbing. So the lighting that's so famous now in downtown Rochester will be available.
Prior to the creation of the Fire and Ice Fest, Rochester had a small festival of its own, lining the streets of the downtown area with ice sculptures. 6 years ago, the county executive teamed up with the Rochester DDA and Oakland County Parks to create a celebration of the winter season.
Well, it not only is it a charming community, but it had a head start. It already had a downtown ice festival, so we thought, well, let's just piggyback with them. We'll partner up. Rather than trying to go out and reinvent the wheel, why not come to a community that had already seen the advantages of a winter event, and so we just expanded upon what Rochester already had.
You know, honestly, the event was just, we had ice sculptures and we had a shopping event, which was great, and we had, marginal success with that. But then when the county came to us and said Brooks was looking to do something to step up his healthy living initiative, but in the wintertime, and that we might be a nice match with that, we thought that was a great way to take our event to the next level. And we've more than tripled our attendance, and the community has really come out because, our community, they love to be outside, they love to do things. And so with the tubing hill and the sledding and the skating and the snowshoeing, the dog sleds, it's really just an amazing event that you just don't find anywhere else.
A new mascot has been unveiled for the Fire and Ice Festival. There's just one problem. It doesn't have a name. Festival organizers are asking you to come up with one. Go to surveymonkey.com/s/Fire and Ice mascot to enter your suggestion. The winning entry will be announced on January 26th. Everyone who submits a name will be eligible to win a $50 gift certificate. For a complete list of festival events, visit destinationoakland.com. We here at ONTV were saddened to learn that longtime resident and the former Orion Township clerk, Jill Bastian, passed away on Sunday, January 13th, at the age of 66, after a long battle with breast cancer. Jill was a community activist before deciding to run for the office of Township Clerk in 1996, when former clerk Marie English decided not to run for re-election. Bastian was elected to the office of clerk by Orion voters and took the oath of office in December of 1996.
Oh, well, I just think it's so incredible because I just feel like it's so great to be able to possibly represent this community, possibly serve them. I feel like the community has spoken. This election, quite frankly, I've thought all along was like a referendum on what kind of community we're going to have. And there has been some very different opinions on what this community was going to become. And it seems to me now that some of us who think that we've been listening maybe better to the community are going to get a chance to actually represent the community and try to help it become the kind of community we think it can be. And it will just be refreshing to be able to do things in an official capacity. Before you could try to do things as just a citizen, but really didn't have any power to really make things happen if you felt they needed to. And I'm just so pleased that people came out and voted. That was very important. And I guess I just feel like this community needs to get back to a better sense of representation of democracy, of making things work better for the people who live here.
A year after taking office, Jill was involved with the redistricting of voting precincts in the township and village to accommodate the area's rapid growth. She told us in 1997 that her primary goal was to get residents to exercise their right to vote.
And that's my main goal, was to first of all get people registered and then get them educated about when the elections are and where to go and everything, and then make sure they go vote. Because even if you don't like their views or they vote against something you're in favor of, the whole point is that if democracy is going to work, you got to have them there, you got to encourage them to vote. And I realize it's more work for my office, but the whole idea is that's what we're here for. That's one of the big jobs that the clerk is given responsibility for, is elections.
In July of 1998, Jill was one of several township officials present at a ceremony on Joslin Road to officially open a portion of the safety path to the public. She told us creating safety paths to connect the area's trail systems was one of her main objectives since 1978, long before she even considered running for office.
Well, I wish my daughter was here. She's almost 23, and basically she was 3 years old, and I tried to take her biking, and it was sort of impossible since there was no safe place to go when she was little. So I'm pretty excited. Yeah, and it's been great because so many people have helped make this happen. Yep.
What does this path mean to the community?
Oh, I think it's going to help this community be a community, help it communicate better, help people get from one side to the other and become neighbors across the entire township. I think that's going to just be a real asset because we've got so many neighborhoods now, but I think people really, really are looking forward to being able to get to know each other all over the township.
Jill held the office for 12 years and turned her duties over to current township clerk Penny Schultz in 2008. Penny told us that her predecessor helped her ease into the position and offered her support and encouragement.
Jill's always been involved. She was a public servant, and she gave her life away serving others. She wanted to be involved for the betterment of the community, whether it was working on the safety path or working at the Friends of the Library. She was always engaged. Well, a couple of things that come to mind, first and foremost, is that she was very detailed in what she did. Jill left a great office department to work in. She hired wonderful employees, and those employees are still there with Orion Township here in the clerk's office. And she was just really good at organizing and facilitating township records and township business. So it was nice to be able to come in to a position where the previous person cared so much about that role.
Jill was a longtime member of the Lake Orion United Methodist Church, organizer of the Friends of the Orion Library's monthly used book sale, and was an avid reader and knitter. She is survived by her husband of 44 years, Doug Bastian, and her daughter, Heather. We here at ONTV express our condolences to the family and friends of Jill Bastian. She will be greatly missed. We're going to step aside for a moment, but when we return, we'll have a special report from Joe Johnson on the 2013 Resolution Run. Stay tuned.
Can't make it out to the 3rd annual ONTV Feed Our Fish food drive? Well, you still can contribute. Surf on over to our website at orionontv.org and donate $5 through PayPal. Just click on the Feed Our Fish banner on our homepage, then click on the yellow Donate button. Every dollar goes directly to the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry. So donate and tune in on Saturday, February 9th from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. right here on ONTV, Comcast Channel 10, and Uverse Channel 99.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jean Wagner, Doctor of Naturopathic Medicine. I am the host of Natural Health for All Ages on ONTV. In this day and age where people's diets may be lacking or stress really affects people's health in different ways, or health may not be as up to par, I give tips on using natural things like food, supplements, herbs, homeopathic remedies, and other naturally derived substances to help the body to bring itself into balance so that the body will be able to make its own natural substances and to get the nutrition it needs to heal itself. So I hope you will tune in to ONTV. You can also watch full-length episodes on YouTube by looking up Jean Wagner, ND.
Welcome back to ONTV News. I'm Kayla Brandon. Every year, people usually make resolutions to improve themselves over the course in the new year. In Lake Orion, many area runners made resolutions to shake off the effects of ringing in the new year, get up early to brave the cold, and take part in the New Year's Resolution Run. ONTV's Joe Johnson was there and brings us the story.
On the morning of January 1st, 2013, over 200 runners and walkers gathered in the village of Lake Orion for the start of the New Year's Resolution Run. The temperature was in the low 20s and there was snow and ice to be concerned about, but that didn't seem to deter the participants who ranged in age from children to senior citizens. The 5K route takes runners and walkers through the downtown area, including surrounding neighborhoods. The annual event acts as a fundraiser for the Downtown Development Authority and helps subsidize the costs of many improvements that make the downtown area the gem that it is.
I would say it's definitely become a tradition for people that live in and around Lake Orion. We've been consistent with our numbers, the number of people that register for the race year after year, and I would just say that this is certainly a tradition for many people. And working with Hanson's, they do all of our race management. They have a wonderful group of people that they work with, and I think they bring a lot of people to this community as well.
The Resolution Run was created in 2001 by Brian Thomas as a fundraiser for children with cerebral palsy. Thomas now lives in West Palm Beach, Florida, but he was back in Lake Orion for the holidays and took part in the run. What can you say about the mentality of the runner who comes out on a cold winter day to run this race? What kind of special person is that?
That's a very special person, especially on New Year's Day. And, you know, it just makes me happy to see all these people out here, you know, being healthy and maybe drinking just a little bit less last night and having a lot of fun. You saw those guys in the red, you know, those are old cross-country buddies of mine, and all these young kids out here and families, and that's what it's about, man. It's just about doing what you do on New Year's Day. And I'm glad to see so many people being healthy.
Crossing the finish line first was Matt Fecht of Warren, who finished with a time of 16:30. Matt has taken part in the race 5 or 6 times before and has won multiple times.
It's better than sleeping in. Get up, get a good start to the day, and for me it's just like any other day. You know, probably a little bit less sleep from last night.
What was the course like? There were some concerns about ice and slipping and falling or anything like that. Any concerns about the courses you were running through?
Not so much. I mean, obviously, you know, we've had a lot of snow and ice, so you got to be careful, especially around the turns. But for the most part, the course was plowed and salted. You know, just some of the turns were a little bit, you know, a little bit sticky and slick and all that. You know, you got to take your time so you don't fall, but still trying to, you know, go a little bit quick.
The first female to cross the line was Sarah Ropp of Auburn Hills, who finished with a time of 19:37. It was her first time competing in the Resolution Run.
I was happy with my finish. Not as fast as I would have liked, but the roads were kind of slushy, so I'll take it.
Based on your experience today, do you think this might be an annual thing that you'd like to do?
Yeah, it was a nice race. I like the small town feel. I'm not as fond of the big races, so I like this a little smaller.
Oxford's Keith Wilson may not have finished first, but just finishing it all was quite an accomplishment. Over the past year, Wilson has lost almost 160 pounds and was taking part in his first race ever.
Well, over a year ago, I had a gastric bypass. And over this past year, I've lost over 156 pounds. And I made my mind up that I wanted to do this. This was my goal. This is announcing to myself that this is going to be a big year for me.
The annual Resolution Run is just the first of many events the DDA hosts throughout the year. To see their calendar of events, visit downtownlakeorion.org or give them a call at 248-693-9742. In Lake Orion, this is Joe Johnson reporting for ONTV News.
Thanks, Joe. Here we have some news for the Lake Orion School District. As they say, hard work pays off. After years of sacrifice and diligence, prerequisites to make it to the all-state level, 4 members of the Lake Orion High School Marching Dragon Band have been selected to play for their all-state band at the Michigan State competition. The music all-stars are senior Emma Pendergrass on alto sax, Thomas Vieira on trumpet, Raymond Wittenberg on baritone saxophone, and junior Ryan Stockhausen on clarinet, who declined to attend. The journey to get involved in the all-state band was not easy. Out of thousands of band students from across the state, these 3 were among 100 to make the cut. This involved 10-minute auditions last October, where each musician prepared a music selection for performance and underwent extensive sight reading exercises. To see these musicians in action, tune into ONTV Comcast Channel 10, AT&T UVerse Channel 99 on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 3 p.m. to their winter concert entitled Symphonic Celebrations. The LOHS Symphonic Band was joined on stage by all 3 middle school bands, all-star musicians. This is your chance to see the current and future music all-stars of the Lake Orion School District. Moving on to some good news regarding the Lake Orion School District's elementary schools. The Michigan Department of Education named 6 Lake Orion elementary schools as high-performing reward schools for 2012-2013. Carpenter Year-Round Elementary School, Orion Oaks Multi-Age Elementary School, Pink Creek Elementary School, Pine Tree Elementary School, Stadium Drive Elementary School of the Arts, and Weber Elementary School were among the 344 of the 4,247 schools in Michigan to receive the distinction. High-performing schools demonstrate high achievement on state assessments in all 5 core subjects: reading, writing, math, science, and social studies, are high on improvement, and are closing the achievement gaps. One of the high-achieving schools, Carpenter Elementary, had their 5th graders hard at work just before Christmas break, learning about the science of heredity and traits. Over break, students and their families constructed their very own dragons, based on the traits that they were assigned. The students threw in a little flair in for fun as well. Dragons of all sizes, colors, and shapes are displayed in the halls of the 5th grade wing, and teachers commented that these were the best dragons yet. Carpenter's teachers made what could be a complicated topic into a hands-on learning experience that was informative and fun. We're going to take another quick break, but when we return, we'll take a look at local sports with Ryan Fields. You're watching ONTV News. Stay tuned.
3 students were in the hospital this past weekend.
2 honor roll students were hospitalized last night.
5 local students lost their college scholarships last night.
Another local high school student has passed away.
Another 3 dead.
Claimed the life of another local teenager.
The cause?
Alcohol.
Alcohol. I don't want to be another number.
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 I don't want to be just another number.
Please remember that CFL bulbs, you know, those curly, energy-efficient light bulbs everybody is using to save electricity, shouldn't be thrown away in your trash. Neither should batteries or home medical sharps. You can check with your local community to see where they can be recycled. Some retailers will allow you to bring them in for recycling. You can also order simple kits online that allow you to collect your recyclables and simply mail them away to be properly recycled. This green tip was brought to you by your friends at Waste Management.
Welcome back to ONTV News. I'm Kayla Brandon. We now turn our attention to local sports. Here's Ryan Fields with the weekly sports roundup.
Tough week for Lake Orion hockey as the Dragons take on Rochester United. Lake Orion strikes first early in the second period with a shot from point by Jordan Stroh to beat United's goalie, Brody Blair.
Early in the second period.
But just 25 seconds later, Jimmy Piddle scores the tying goal for United.
Oh, and look at this. We got a tie game.
Late in the third period, still tied at 1 apiece, an unlikely hero emerges for Rochester United. Defenseman Zach Decker gathers the rebound and gets one past Dragon goalie Logan Aldrich for what would be the game winner. The Dragons dropped to 0-2-1 in OAA Red Division, and United improved to 3-1 in league play. Just 2 days removed from the heartbreaking loss against Rochester United, the Dragons are up against the Oxford Wildcat. Just over a minute in the second period, Oxford scores the opening goal as Connor Novak breaks away from the pack and slaps a wrist shot that squeezes through the top corner to give the Wildcats a 1-0 lead. Just over 5 minutes later, Austin Kurkowski fired a shot from behind the Dragons' net that deflected off of a pile of players and lands in the back of the net to give Oxford a 2-1 lead. As the final horn sounded, the Wildcats mobbed goaltender Justin Gazinski, who played the best game of his career by making 33 saves and overcoming 11 Dragon power plays to lead his team to the shutout win over the Dragons. With the win, Oxford improves to 6-6-1 overall and 1-2-1 in league play as the Dragons fall to 4-7-3 overall and 0-2-2 in OAA Red play. Boys basketball was back in action on the 4th, starting off the new year against their rival, the Clarkson Wolves. The Dragons started off with a lot of fight and energy to take an early lead. However, Clarkson fought back to lead at halftime and never gave it up. Leading Clarkson to a 10-point win was Jordan Dasaki with 19 points and 9 rebounds. But the Wolves held on in the final seconds with clinching free throws from Dasaki and sophomore guard Drew Myers. Dasaki led all scorers with 19 points. The Lady Dragons brought in the new year right with a win over the Falcons of Farmington. Turnovers and sloppy play were major factors in this game. However, the Dragons would step it up to close the third quarter and start the fourth by going on a 10-0 run when Aaron Howell, Farmington's best player, had to lead the game due to foul trouble. The 10-0 run put the Dragons up by 6 points, and they never looked back. They were able to seal the victory at the free throw line by going 10 of 13 in the fourth quarter. Nicole Cryer led Lake Orion with 15 points, and Aaron Howe's 15 led the way for Farmington. Farmington falls to 1-8, and the Dragons improved to 2-5.
Thanks, Ryan. That's it for this edition of ONTV News. For more on upcoming ONTV events and programming information, visit orionontv.org. On behalf of the entire crew, I'm Kayla Brandon. Thanks for watching.